Yo, welcome to another edition of From a Third Eye View, hosted by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note, and I'm here with my two regular co-hosts.
Yeah, it's me, JV.
JV, for people who can't see because we're live or listening, he's still dancing from the 80s. And a shout out to Big S and that. You get me? Shout out Solomon. Yes, and also
Mr. I am living my best life.
Oh, you are.
Intro change, right?
Intro change.
I am living
We're gonna get
a wonderful weekend.
Best weekend, innit?
Yeah, we're gonna explain, like, when we get into the whole Manchester City thing, I'll explain what happened when Stroh rang me and everything. But since Stroh, you're so happy, and that's the major topic regarding the Premier League, I'll let you kick it off.
Yo, just bear with me. I've just got a little...
Yeah, go on. This guy EJ, you know. Oh Lord.
Yeah, goodbye.
So yeah, City got kicked out of the Champions League
Yeah.
for stupidness.
Fraud.
I don't know. Like I was explaining to Bills on the train on the way down. Have you seen the reasons why?
I have seen, you know what? I didn't look into detail because I was too busy laughing and hoping. All I seen was, I'm not going to lie, proper headline grab. They could get relegated to League One. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. I did not go into, sorry to cut you off, I did not go into, I was looking at the headline and the article and I was going to go into it, and then all I seen was, could be relegated to League One. That's it. That's all I know.
Though,
I doubt it will happen.
is that not where they belong? Is that not where they belong?
Yeah, they ain't got no history.
That's where they belong. Yeah.
Big facts. You want, yeah?
Nah, so basically this is what's happened in it. So from what I read in, I could be missing little points out, or I could, like, little things might be wrong, but from what I've understood, because I spent quite a lot of time looking at it yesterday, because obviously I knew we were coming on and we were going to be discussing it in length, was there's bank statements and statements from profitability, sponsorship statements from 2012,
Okay.
2014, and I believe it's the 2015-16 season.
Yeah.
So for those football fans, 2012, the Aguero moment.
Yeah.
2014 is when they beat us to the league, that infamous slip and stuff like that. And then
great slip.
2015-16 is what it is. But
Yeah.
so basically what's happened is there was a journalist in Germany who basically, from a source, don't know where this source come from, has basically said, look, City are breaching financial fair play and they're doing stuff underhand, under the book. And somehow leaked emails, leaked documents have landed on his lap. Now he's obviously put them out to expose him. Yeah. And then basically what's happened then is UEFA have then picked it up, got involved, and City basically went to court to stop these documents being used against him for any form of action by UEFA. Yeah. So here's my first thing. Number one, if you're not guilty, don't take that to court. You go, all right then, look at whatever you want to look at. Yeah.
Release the documents,
Yeah, just like, do whatever you need to do. The fact...
It's boss case, isn't it? What are you longing it out for, man? You know what I'm saying? It's boss case, one time, isn't it? Isn't it, though? You're longing it out for, man.
Massive boss case.
It's boss case, one time.
You just boss case.
The fact that the fact that they took it to court and took it to that extreme length and they spent...
That's tickled me, sorry.
Bro,
it's true, though, isn't it, bro? Think about it.
Sorry, Stroh.
It's very long, you get me?
So, you like regular listeners of the show know why I'm liking it. Like, yo, man's childish when it comes to these type of things. That's funny, but go on, Stroh. Continue.
So they spent millions on lawyers to make sure this didn't get up. They lost. Ooh. So then UEFA pick it up, and then UEFA turn around and go, look, we won't use these unless we're still going to look at him, but we just want to know. We want your statements from that season. We want your sponsorship statements from that season. You want your profitability, what you're spending as a club, your expenditure, your income, your outgoings, everything. City didn't do it. City didn't give him one thing.
You didn't give him nothing?
No. So City were ignoring him. Deadline was coming. UEFA are pressing him for it. City are still ignoring him. This bit is, I know for a fact this is true. Yeah. It then went over the deadline. Ooh. City then giving them the statements. Problem is, there's issues with them statements. So number one, one of the main.
Yo, Joe's ready. Wait,
I love this. You know what?
Joe is ready.
If man ever need criminal representation, yeah, I've got a man here for you, bro.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. This guy for Power fans going on like Proctor and that. You know what I mean? Yeah, go on, continue.
So this is the issue. So one of the main things was I think it was either 68 million or 78 million was showing in sponsorships by Etihad. Right now, in that exact year, Etihad reported a loss. How are they pumping money into City when, as a business, they're reporting a loss? Especially when it's 68 or 78 million. It was definitely one of them. Okay. Now, but this is the problem. So, and the actual money for that season that Etihad pumps into City was 8 million. So
8 million?
Yeah. So where's the other 60 million coming from? The owner pumped it straight in, which in financial fair play rules you can't do. Right, so that's one of them. They sold the bridge from the Etihad to the other stadium, £30 million.
Well, the bridge cost £30 million.
No, they sold the bridge.
They sold the bridge.
They sold
The
the
naming
bridge
rights.
for £30 million.
A bridge, brother. A bridge. You walk past with your 2 feet. Cost 30 mil.
Go on.
That's gone into the sponsorships. And this is what I love more than anything. The 25 million they paid for Wilfred Bonney is up for debate as to where they've made that money and how they've managed to fund that kind of
25 mil.
Yeah.
Here's the funniest thing about that. I seen the tweet on that. Sorry to cut you off. At the meme, and it was like City are going through all this because they spent money on Wilfred Bonney. But I thought it was fake. But obviously it's real. No, that's bad business, you know. That's bad. Wilfred Bonney, you know. Who does he even play for now?
Brother.
Is he in China?
Brother, I don't even think he's attached to a club. I think he's free agent. He's doing up free agent.
Is he doing up?
Yeah.
I'm surprised
they might have to get him back.
Yeah, they might have to get him back.
They might have to get him back.
Yo, he go League One. But yeah, go on.
No, so it's like there's loads of little things and just the way they've gone about it's terrible. Like the fact that so for example, if any form of life I get accused of something, I'm not. Do you know what I mean? I know if I've not done anything wrong, I'm doing everything I can. Do you know what I mean? To help the investigation.
Prove your innocence.
To prove my innocence. Yeah. The fact that they avoided UEFA for so long, the fact that they initially hired a load of solicitors and lawyers to get them out of this to make sure these leaked documents can't be used by UEFA in any form of protocol or any form of injustice or any form of ban punishment, proves to me you're hiding something. Then the fact that you're not sticking to the guidelines which UEFA give you. Bear in mind, this has been going on for 16 to 18 months.
So this has been a long process then? This hasn't come out of the blue?
These documents got leaked a long time ago, like talking 16, 18 months ago.
Der Spiegel, German newspaper.
Yeah. Bro, and it's like, there's a lot of stuff which is, and the main thing that pointed out to me, black and white, when I rang you when I was buzzing off my head was...
which we're going to get into,
when the statement by UEFA, like, look, I'm sure at times PSG have probably breached financial fair play, but
I'm guessing so.
But serious breaches, serious breach. They've been doing some dodgy underhand stuff.
It wouldn't surprise me if they had.
So. And I was having this discussion with him, and then you look at the repercussions of this. So it's like everyone's now questioning the Premier League titles in 2012, the Premier League title in 2014, the impact of their legacy and what that has on him. And then as a club, let's say you do get banned by the Champions League, even if it's 1 year, that's 120 million of TV revenue that you're going to lose. So if they're already in breach of financial fair play and they've not got that money, next season UEFA are going to come knocking again because they're in breach of it again because they've not got that kind of money. So then what does that do? As a whole club, you've got to reset and you've got to rebuild brick by brick because they're not going to have that money. So the likes of De Bruyne, gone, see you later. The likes of Pep Guardiola, regardless what he comes out, if you're in League 2, I'll manage it. No, you won't, mate.
Is that what he said? I didn't see that. Is that actually Wait, did he say that?
Yeah. No, so whoever's PR at Man City, like, come on now.
Terrible.
Everyone knows that ain't going to happen.
Terrible. That's one of them lies, yeah. That's one of them lies where even if this is Pep next to me and he lies, that's one of them lies where you just turn to him and like,
yeah.
Like what?
You look at him like
he's lying. Yeah. He knows he's lying.
Yeah.
Everyone else knows he's lying.
Imagine Pep strolling out a City team at Exeter City. You feel me?
Like Grimsby, like right, come on, lads.
Yeah, no, this is
see you later, mate.
Grimsby on a Tuesday night.
Get me? Man's getting offered pies at half time. He's not in it.
He's not in it.
So it's like, listen, they can come out and they can make this all, but like they can make it as sweet as roses. Whatever happens with City through and through, I'm not being funny. If you're Raheem Sterling and you've got World Cups coming up, you're in your prime life, you ain't playing in League Two. That ain't
do you know what?
happening.
That's a valid point, because I thought about it in terms of, once I finished laughing about the whole situation and I'm still joyful about it, I thought about if they did get relegated to League One or League Two, how many players would stay? And now you make the point of that affecting international football. If you do choose to stay and you are a top player, your international career is pretty much over for at least 2-3 years.
You see what it is? You see, like, remember when this all happened with Juventus?
Yeah, I do
and
remember.
they got relegated.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I think some players stayed.
Some players did stay.
But it was like the players who came from their academy.
Yeah, players
or
who
had
bleed
been there.
Juventus.
Yeah, who bled that.
Yeah.
If there was one player who would have stayed there, it would probably would have been Company. You got rid of him. I don't think the rest of them bleed that.
The only other person that will stay
think
will
the
be
rest of
Phil
them bleed
Foden.
blue.
Phil Foden maybe
that's
say
it.
that.
I don't think he stays. I think
he's the only
a Dortmund comes in with a bid, 50 mil. They look it up on the box and go, yeah.
It depends on Foden if he does decide to leave. If he could look at it one or two ways. I've not been playing. Now all these players are going and we going down to League Two. Now you begging me to stay. Or he could look at it like, this is my chance. We can get back up in the league. I think Fernandinho is another one I'm looking at who might stay. Considering
Because he's so old.
Because he's coming towards the end of his career.
Yeah, but it's
that's
like-
what I'm looking at.
but it's
But
like-
you see, like, one second, like, De Bruyne.
Yeah.
He's 29.
Yeah, if he wants to win the Champions League or what
Yeah.
that's his last chance, really.
Yeah.
So, 2 years? My man's 31.
I think he'll bounce. I think all them type. Obviously, Silva's already leaving. Obviously, the likes of De Bruyne, Aguero.
Well,
Any player in
Aguero
their
will
prime
just
or
go
coming
back to
close to their
Argentina.
prime's going to go. Yeah, like
But I
Aguero's
think,
going to
but if you look at if you actually look at their squad, that's most of the players.
That is the majority. Like, I can't say like even a Kyle Walker staying.
Not at all.
Sane when he comes back to fitness.
Not at all.
I can't see him
Bernardo
being like
Silva,
Silva.
not at all.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva, no chance.
No, I don't think if
Bro, Bernardo
Gundogan.
Silva's already come out and said that he feels like he left Benfica before his time and he'd love to go back
Oh,
to
is he already
Portugal.
saying that?
they've been, you know how you've got to
It
see
couldn't
it.
have been timed any better. It was the next day.
Do you know how you've got to see it though?
Yeah, go on.
Because all right then, like we had this discussion last week saying, Pogba feels like he's been lied to or whatever. You know what I mean? He's been missold and what the dream for the club. But then this is even worse, because then imagine these same people who've signed you, knowing what they've done, have then done this on the other hand.
So they put you in this predicament.
Yeah,
Because
and
they're
it's-
knowing they're doing wrong.
You've
so they
done
know
your
they can
bit.
come back.
You've won your
Yeah,
titles.
They have actually, you could look at it like, that's a very key point. The players could look at it like, you bought us for all this money. We've done what we're supposed
our
to,
bit.
regardless winning the Champions League. We've
Yeah.
won back-to-back Premier Leagues.
Yeah.
We've won FA
Set
Cup.
records.
We've won League Cups. We've set records. We've set the Premier League alight.
Yeah.
And then this
Have
has
you not
happened.
seen what was said though?
Go
So
on.
an actual sports lawyer's come out and looked at the City contracts and
Yeah.
gone, well, wait a minute, if you wanted to use it, City are now in breach of contract. So you could literally leave that contract for nothing.
So,
Some players-
this is a breach of... So
Yeah,
is that in all contracts or some?
No, it might. It'll be in some, because think about it. Me and
clauses,
you were
innit?
talking about it. There'll be certain clauses in the
Clauses.
contract. Champions League clauses in the contract. Certain amount of appearances and certain amount of money that you'll get for Champions League appearances.
They would have been
goals and-
guaranteed. That's a draw to a club. That's why United.
Appearance fees and things like
That's
that.
why United and other big teams who are not at the moment in Champions League places, you struggle to get a big player in because his thing is Champions League.
Because that's the elite
It's the
club
attraction.
competition.
Yeah,
but then that's a clause inserted in your contract.
Because think about it, as someone, and let's be honest, City, since they've got the money, have got, as a club, they've got an ego. Do not be surprised if in their contract somewhere it says guaranteed Champions League football.
They would be silly
Definitely,
enough. They would be silly enough to put that in regarding if you are doing underhand stuff. Like if you're doing underhand stuff, you have to be smart about these type of things. What if it goes wrong?
You know what I honestly think? I honestly think they to have done this how they've done it. They didn't even think they were going to get caught. For him to
One of them.
pump in 70 mil in his own name, brother.
He'd even try and disguise
He didn't
it.
disguise it.
Nah,
Bro, you can't do that with a normal bank.
it's a
I can't
mess.
go to my bank today and slap in 700 foul. I can't slap in 70 grand.
Yeah.
I can't slap in 7 grand without
Yeah.
going, where's this from? Do
That's
you get what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah, bank is going to say that. They're going to look at you like...
So it's...
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Now I fully understand what you're saying.
Do you get what I'm saying? So how they've done it, it's like... They've not thought it through.
Yeah.
And this is one point I wanted to get out, actually.
Go on.
Do you know why I've realised? You know what I've realised?
Yeah.
Who's all the City... all the chairmans and all the directors and all this and all that.
Go on.
It's all them ex-Barca people, innit? They get away with this in Spain. They get a slap on the hand for this in Spain.
That was going to be, since you brought it up, that was going to be my point, because I've mentioned this as well, because obviously you got to get your jokes off on social media about things like this, as I'm going to keep reiterating. But do you believe they will be found guilty and get the punishment? So
No,
banned twice and relegation. Do you think
Not relegated.
Nah,
I don't think
they
they'll
won't
ever
get
get
relegated.
I
They'll
can
get
see them
points,
getting
nothing.
nothing. I can see them getting some form of punishment. You think they'll definitely? So don't gas me up. So you're telling me 1,000% they're gonna get banned from the Champions League for at least a year.
For at least a year.
Okay.
They should get a leave.
That's what I think it might be, just one.
Based on what I've read,
Yeah.
and the stuff that's been touted about by like key journalists who obviously are involved in the case, like respectable sports journalists and Guardian newspaper, like actual respectable newspapers. What they're talking about is, I don't think they'll get the 2 years. I just don't see it.
I don't see it either.
But think about it. You put a big ban in, so then you can lower it. Do you know what I mean? So you put the 2, and then you'll get the 1. You got a 30 million fine. Realistically, it'll be halved. The issue they've got is, what did the Premier League do? Because you know for a fact it's not going to be publicly. Liverpool are going to be knocking at the door.
Yeah.
Manchester United are going to be knocking at the door, specifically them two, because we got outdone by them in 2 title chases for the years which they're talking about in question, where they breached financial fair play. So you know they're going to be knocking.
That's true.
Then you've got the likes of Tottenham, because they'll think now top 4's up for grabs. The likes of Arsenal.
Check this though. Anyone in those years who's missed out on top 4, they've got a case.
Yeah, because they could be like, we've missed out on X amount of revenue, we want compensation.
They've got a case.
That's a very valid point.
Do you get what I'm saying?
They're looking at.
I said this in the taxi on the way here. Yeah. It's almost going to be like a alternate universe where everyone's going to be like, well, this could have happened, like, that could have happened,
that's true.
and that should have happened.
That's the way you look at it. Because because even the prize money from say 56, if you finish, you get me, or whatever, like you said, missing out on top 4, 56, 60, like who they took points off, and they could have took more points off. They could have took more points off you than say the club above you or something like that.
But not even that though. So you look at it. So it's like, so for example, from our point of view, so using 2012. Would they have had that last minute winner if they would have had that kind of funding? Would they have got to the position they were in without that January spending?
About that. I think, you know what? Because I only remember them being used to the title. I forgot that the Aguero thing is still in it.
That's their whole. This is what I mean. This could wipe out the whole legacy.
Financial fair play came in 2011,
right?
And you had to have a certain amount. You had a certain budget for the first year. Yeah. They breached that well over.
Because don't you remember when it first came in? Everyone was prang. Yeah, everyone kind of put the pause on the spending a bit and was like, right, let me get my pen and my calculator out. And, you know what I mean? I've got to make sure I sell him and I bring this much in so I can buy him. It was like people were selling before they buy. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Type of thing. That's what happened when it first come in. Yeah. But they weren't doing that because you can't sell Sean Wright Phillips and buy Aguero. It's not the same peas. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like I put it to Vils like this before when the train was. So for example, you look at us. Sold Coutinho for 142 million. That funded Alisson and Van Dijk. There's a reason why they compare our net spend to every other team, specifically City, because we spend within our means. Don't get me wrong. John Henry's got a bag full of money. He owns the Boston Red Sox. He's rich. Yeah. And if we wanted to, we could go out and spend 150 million, but that's not within the financial fair play. Right. So we've gone about it the right way. Michael Edwards, unbelievable football man, sold Ibe 30 million. That basically funded Fabinho. Like, come on now. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas you look at what we were doing, then on the other side, you've got them spending £250 million on fullbacks. It's like, well, where are you getting this money back from?
They're not selling no one.
Yeah, that's true.
But who are they selling? Who are you selling to get that money? You ain't selling Fabinho for 30 million. You ain't selling Joe, the big Brazilian brother, for 30
It's mad,
million.
Innit? When you think about it. All right, then even like United ain't been too frugal spending. But we still sold quite a few. We still sold your Di Maria's, your Lukaku last season.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Them players have still gone on.
We're still ticking. We're still ticking. Even if we're having to put a little cherry on the top, a little bit more on top, we still got something coming in.
And then me and him had the discussion about this. So for example, you look at us, what's the one thing we've got over City?
The legacy and the fan base.
So for example, shirt sales.
Our shirt sales are always going to come into it because no matter the success of the clubs,
commercially, regardless, you will always be up there. Yeah. When we were going through our stuff, we were always up there.
Yeah.
So, for example, and I was explaining this to him. So, obviously, they went from Nike to Puma, right? Now, when Nike took over us this season, there was a big court case with New Balance because New Balance had a clause in the contract, like if we match it, we should be your kit manufacturer. And Nike were like, no, we'll do everything to make sure we get Liverpool. Here's the problem: if numbers aren't adding up with Nike as a manufacturer and as a kit supplier with regards to shirt sales and stuff like that. If all that was adamant, or if all that was sweet and numbers were adding up, Nike would have done everything to keep City.
Yeah.
Why'd they let them just go to Puma and they've gone, no, we'll pursue Liverpool?
Think about it. They've just won the league, yeah? So you've just won the league, record-breaking, blah, 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 best Prem team ever, and you go from Nike to Puma.
Yeah, something's off there.
Commercially,
Off, innit?
Something's
You're not
off.
selling,
Something
you're not
doesn't
selling
make
the
sense.
shirts.
Yeah, because we know that they don't have a fan base.
Come on, all right then.
Yeah.
Put it like this. The start of the season, did you see the advert, what they did?
Which one was it?
Man got in Bugsy Malone and
Oh, yeah, I remember,
Bugsy
yeah.
Malone speaking to Pep, and that's how they tried. So,
They did try, I think, shout out to Shotty as well, because he does work with them
Yeah,
as well.
so
So,
you know
they
what I
tried
mean?
it.
so all right then, yeah, but do you see that?
Yeah.
They're bringing in local people. So they're trying something. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because they must know that it's not there like that.
Because we know this. Yeah,
You know what I'm
City
saying?
don't have no
you
fans.
go.
OT.
Not even that. Yeah, all right. Then I've said this. This. You go Old Trafford. Yeah. My mum lives around the corner from there. I could go there on any given weekend.
And it's always
Weekday
packed.
even. There's
always in the
there's
shop.
someone walking back
With bags.
with bags.
There's
to
always
the mega
people.
store.
There's always people mulling around Old
Yeah,
Trafford
there's
all
always,
the time.
if it's not the tours.
if it's not the tours, if not people in the mega store, it's people taking pictures. Like
Yeah.
it's an attraction.
There's
There's always
people just there.
It's never quiet.
Well, so that's the key point in the tours.
Yeah.
You go on a tour for us, Champions Leagues, league titles, FA Cups, League
everything.
Cups, U's, Champions Leagues, European Cups.
League titles. Yeah.
We'll
Yo,
go on the tour. So
you
this
go
was us
there.
in 2012. This is us now.
You go there tour. Do you know what their tour is?
Go on.
That was
Main
Main Road.
Road.
Tour, yeah.
And then and here's Main Road. That's their tour, bro. Sean Goater. Run for it.
Sean Goater.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Georgie King Clancy.
yeah, King Clancy. You know what I'm saying? That's their tour, bro.
Richard Dunn.
Their tour is probably done in
Richard-
20 minutes, yeah? Richard Dunn. You get me?
It is probably done.
Mark Kennedy.
It's
You know what
probably
I'm
done in
saying?
20 minutes with a 5-minute break.
There
Yeah.
you go, bro. You get what I'm saying? So, and I said this, car when man moved down there, the city's ground,
Yeah.
I said, yeah. You know what? Let me see what their ground's like. And I seen the bridge and that, and I seen the, the kids training ground and that, where the women play and that, which is, don't get me wrong, it's very impressive.
Yeah, it looks nice.
But you turn around and you look back at the ground, it's ghost town. There's nothing to go on.
There was nothing.
I'm telling you, I could go to the Asda across the road,
Yeah.
and I'll look at the city's ground, or I'll drive past and I'll look and I'm thinking, is it closed?
Listen, it does.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Like,
There's nothing happening. There's no one with bags.
There's no one.
No,
It's even like our match days. That's the crazy thing.
Exactly.
So that- matches
that's
we
not
play
the
that
point.
time.
So that comes on to my point. It doesn't take a brain scientist or someone of a ridiculous caliber of knowledge and brain power. It doesn't take anyone smart to realise, as a business, if you're not attracting money. So, for example, match day tickets, right? How much are they charging for match day tickets? Because in order for you to post the revenue and to post the income and the gross profit and stuff like that, something's got to add up. You must be the highest match day tickets in the league in order for you to do that. It's not.
Yeah,
we
we
all
know
know
this.
it's Arsenal.
Yeah, it's Arsenal, yeah.
You're not
We know
filling your
this.
stadium. So
Yeah.
where's your money coming from?
Yo, so there you go. You don't fill your stadium.
You don't have no merch.
You don't sell no merch. You get me?
You're not really selling players either.
You're not
like
really
that.
selling players.
Exactly.
So where's
fair
the
money coming
enough
from?
if you're selling a De Bruyne for 200 million,
Then it makes sense.
It kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't.
They don't even do that.
Who, literally, off the top of your head, quick question, top of your head, name me one player that City have sold for a good amount of money.
If they sold for a good amount, no one that I can think of.
Name me one.
There is
Actually,
literally
can't
no
do.
one that I can think of that they've sold for a decent amount of money.
Name me one from United.
Yeah, Lukaku, Di
Name me another
Maria.
one.
Di Maria.
Yeah, you mentioned. Who else we sold? Obviously getting Sanchez off the wage bill.
We
Yeah,
sold
yeah.
players.
Yes,
bro.
that's one thing. Wage bill is a big thing. So for us, we sold Suarez
we
for
even
80
sold-
million.
What, like, even your daily blends for your
Yeah.
10, 20 mils
Daily
and
blends.
your
You Depay's.
Depies,
Yeah,
30
yeah.
mils, and you know what I'm saying?
Fellaini went as well.
30 mils.
Small enough to half of the
Yeah,
wage bill
do you
with
know
the
what I
loan.
mean?
Young went off the wage bill.
Herrera off the wage bill.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Herrera, yeah.
So man moan about our wage bill, but if you look at the past 12 months alone,
We've
man
cut
have-
it.
But that's another story.
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
know what I mean? It's not about us today.
All right, so
You
to
know what I mean?
close off this segment, where else are going to go with this? You can tell this is live radio, and I actually had a great point I wanted to bring, and
I did as
completely
well, man.
forgot
It
it.
just got blown out the
I
water.
completely forgot.
Because it's too much.
Oh yeah, that was it. So I was going to say two things. One, has there been a bigger fall from grace in the Premier League era
No.
than for City?
No.
Well, but check this though. This is how I'm going to put it. This is how I'm going to put it. Yeah.
There's a massive fall from
This
grace.
is the worst thing. We're getting at him. We've been
Yeah.
getting at him for months for gifting Liverpool the title this season.
Yeah.
Bro, if all this comes through and they get stripped, they've gifted them 3 league titles in 7 years, mate.
That's true. But at least we get a couple.
Oh, I don't even want him, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of a not
Keep
a way
him for
to
your
get
tour,
it.
man.
Bro,
keep him for
I
your tour,
reckon it
man.
should be defunct.
Nah, keep
That's
it
how
for
it
your
is.
tour, so you got a little something extra.
Go
like,
oh yeah, it's different for you, and
add an extra 20
But
minutes on your
you know
tour.
me.
Nah, this is like me waiting for a bus.
Yeah,
You just come along at once.
You know me,
Give
I'm
the
paid.
Premier League.
I'd rather, if that means Liverpool get 2 more, I'd rather United don't get them. Like that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Scrap it all together. Yeah, let him have him.
together. I'm paid. I'm cool with
Let
that.
you have your
innit?
cheat titles.
I'm
You can
cool
just
with
call
that.
them cheat. Yeah,
I say we
actually.
just defunct
From
it.
now on, no. From now on.
What happened?
You might have got cheat titles, bro.
What happened in Italy though when Juventus got stripped? Did the teams that came second?
No. So there was a so.
Go on, what was the rule?
One of the big problems was there was an issue with match officials, and there was a certain referee who matched 60 games in a row for Juventus.
Yeah.
Ras.
Okay, right. So did the teams who finished second?
That's my dad. How
There
did that go on?
there was a lot of match fixing,
Early.
other stuff that was going on.
Mafia man,
Early. But
did
yeah,
that go?
but yeah. So I don't think we've seen, considering how we've been bashing him correctly and criticizing him for so long, and now everyone's jumped on the bandwagon that we're on. We started that bandwagon, by the way, people.
By the way,
go back. We started that. That's from a Third Eye View
And
exclusive.
the cheek
We
of City
started
fans
that.
to turn around and say that teams are gifting us and we're cheating our way to the league. What planet do you live on?
Yeah.
With that, not only has it been the most, because obviously at the start of the season they were favourites for the title. People were calling him the greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time.
People were calling Pep Guardiola the greatest of all time. This is a dynasty. Has this completely destroyed their legacy also?
Yeah, it's done. It's
Like
done.
their legacy's really
It's done.
finished.
It's done. If this
so-
comes out guilty, you get that guilty in the court, it's done. It's done. City are done. Don't care.
Everybody done.
Everybody
Pep
done.
done.
Nah, serious, bro.
No, because
Mad.
realistically, they're going to have to sell a load of players. They're going to have to restructure the club because in order to go with the financial fair play, they're not going to be the same team. The Premier League, if once the Premier League look at it, they could give them a points reduction next year.
Yeah.
They ain't going to get TV revenue from next year, and they're not going to get Champions League if they get hit with a 10-15 point deduction.
Be interested to see how many players they lose,
You know
because
what
I was
I
looking
think?
at that, because if they do lose players, obviously with this whole thing with financial fair play, they had to reinvest anyway. We were talking a couple weeks ago about them having to reinvest heavily. Now they can't do that. So now I'm thinking Pep's definitely gone. Before I was like, maybe he'll stay, he'll have fight. Now he's looking at this like,
this is like
I'm
I
done.
said, this is his excuse now.
Yeah, to get
See,
out.
even when
Yeah,
we were
yeah, yeah.
speaking, and when we had Aaron on the show, big
Yo,
up Aaron
shout out
United.
Aaron, innit?
See,
Yeah,
when
man, shout
he
out
was
Mr.
saying,
Aaron
we can see something, he might at the end of the season turn around and say he's going. Perfect excuse.
Yeah, if he really
this is
has.
done over my head, and you've brought me here under false. He could go
False
on like that.
pretenses,
You brought me here under false pretenses.
I didn't know.
I did not know these things. You lied to me, and you know what I'm saying. Man could go deep like that.
Proper playing the damsel in distress.
Yeah, serious.
This could
because
be, yeah.
But then there's the thing. It makes me think. How much of this did you know?
Now he's got the
I reckon
perfect
he
way
knew.
out. Now he's got the perfect way
Perfect
out.
way
He does
out.
have the perfect way. I reckon he knew though. I reckon he knew to it.
100%.
He probably didn't know the ins and outs of it,
Because
but he
did you
knew
see-
to an
did you
extent.
see-
But
did
then
you
if-
see Arteta's interview?
No, what did
Yesterday,
Arteta say?
they were talking about it after the game, and you could tell he was like, he was holding something back. Like, because the thing is, don't get me wrong, this could potentially benefit him. Because Arsenal might make a surge for it and nick top four. I'm not saying they will, but there's always that opportunity now.
Yeah.
And you could just tell by it was an awkward interview for him because of certain things which he wouldn't. have
Yeah,
been able to
he
say.
probably don't want to incriminate himself.
Yeah, he's like,
Do you get
yeah,
what
I
I'm saying?
incriminated
That's one of
myself.
them.
That's
Really and
facts.
truly, man should have just said no comment. You know what I mean?
That's the best thing to do. No comment.
Because like really
Easiest thing
now,
to defend. No comment.
even see, it's like I was saying before. All of their guys are them ex-Barcelona people,
And they get
see
away
when
with
all
that.
these things come out in Spain. Oh, they've been done for this and that, and then just get a slap on the wrist. They get away with everything in Spain.
Especially Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Always
is
Barcelona.
So you know this
Barcelona are the worst.
Yeah, they are. So before we move on, do you know any information? Because this is the most part I'm interested about. And I started off the show with this. This is getting relegated to League One. Have they breached rules that should force them to be relegated?
Potentially.
So
It
we
is-
don't
it
know
is-
yet.
Nah. So it depends what stand. So obviously the Premier League
Yeah.
are going to wait for UEFA because
Okay.
City have got a specific. I think it was 10 days to basically apply to go to the Court of Arbitration
Yeah.
and go in front of them. Now, obviously, if they get found not guilty, there the Premier League can't really do anything. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if they get found guilty, or if they get certain things which increment him, it forces the Premier League to do something. And there is a certain rule where, depending on how bad they breached it, is you can get kicked out of the Premier League. I'm not saying that's going to happen.
That's what I'm hoping for.
But points reduction
Or
is
if there
probably
is a,
more
if
likely.
there is a God, you get me? Like
Jesus, Allah, Buddha,
all
all
of
of
that,
man
you
there.
get me? All of
If we're just speaking something to existence.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yo, Kevin De Bruyne. Let me just talk to you for a minute. I know you're a lifelong Liverpool fan. you want to win the Champions League. There's no better team. We're not breaching financial fair play.
I think you know what I think with that?
Yeah, go on.
See, your De Bruyne, your Sterling, your Bernardo Silva, your Mahrez even, your Jesus.
Yeah.
Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern,
Laporte.
PSG. Yeah, Laporte.
Hey,
licking
Laporte,
their lips.
you're already in Manchester, just come over to the red side.
Them man are licking that. Now, all them big teams now, like I said, your Barca, PSG, Bayern, they're all licking their lips
and
at this.
because City are in no position to like negotiate or
you got
like
no
that.
Bargaining
It's basically a jumbo. It's basically a caboose sale.
Because they ain't got a
him.
choice, because you're gonna have to, if stuff goes the way I think it's gonna go, they're gonna have to sell players, and this is what I mean. If they want to stay in the Premier League and they do want the opportunity to win Champions Leagues, not being big headed, that's us.
Yeah,
and then if not. Type of situation, a couple of them could go to you. Realistically, they are probably going to go to Real Madrid or Barcelona, which makes sense. For Kevin De Bruyne, Real Madrid. Oh my! Do not go to Barcelona.
No, I could see him more. I don't know why. To me, he screams Barcelona. He screams Barcelona. That's deadly, bro. It's back to like a Iniesta type.
Yeah. De Bruyne could definitely.
Imagine them balls into Messi. It's game over. It's game over.
This could really City, if this happening to finish close out the point, could alternate how teams strengthen, because we're looking at it like, teams might struggle to strengthen in the summer. Everyone's looking to strengthen. This could really make it a Super League.
Yeah, it's turned the football world upside down.
It really could make it a Super League.
Upside down.
But yeah, so off that point, obviously, if they get found guilty, 5th place is potentially now a Champions League spot.
Let's go Sheffield United.
So that opens up for, obviously, Sheffield United, Spurs, Wolves, Everton. United, Arsenal. So it's like you're looking at those teams, because we were looking at it like, all right, one team might get in the Champions League who we didn't expect, say a Sheffield United or a Wolves, but now it could be a Sheffield United and Wolves. That's the difference. So it's like, this is open. You talking about it turning the footballing world upside down,
bro.
Imagine Sheffield United. Imagine Sheffield United finish 4th and Wolves get 5th, and both them teams are there in the Champions League next season.
From 11th till 6th, there's 6 points in it.
Imagine Mbappe at Bramall Lane. Mad.
But I wouldn't know what hit him.
Imagine that at Sheffield United. That man would be like pinching himself on telly, like, bro.
Yeah, you could imagine him looking around that.
Yeah, he'd be like, what's this?
Sheffield United all in the Champions League.
If it was any other team, I wouldn't really be that bothered. But because of Sheffield United and the fact they come up from the Championship, and I really want to see it.
It's a proper, and I don't really like these things, but it is a proper Cinderella story.
It's a
football fairy tale that don't really happen.
It's like a football Disney movie.
Yeah, it is.
If Disney were to make a football movie, it'd be Sheffield United, innit?
Yeah, I really want to see it.
It's that 1,000%. So looking at it now, obviously you got Liverpool, Leicester. You look at that, still 9 points clear of Chelsea. So even though Chelsea have a game in hand, but then you're looking at Chelsea, Spurs, Sheffield United, Wolves, Everton, United, Arsenal, and I think any of those teams I just mentioned there can definitely. Like I said it on the last show and I think the show before that, all any one of these two teams have to do is put a run together.
But this is how sick it is. Even your Burnleys now, your Southamptons, your Newcastle, they might be thinking, we might even be able to get a Europa League.
Considering,
do you get what I'm saying?
Between, like you said, between 5th and 10th, what is 6 points?
Nah, 11.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 6, 5th and 11th.
It's like everyone, all right then.
Go on.
It's going to be one of them things like, it could give everyone a boost, this.
Everyone's getting that kick, like, there's an extra spot now.
Yeah.
There's an extra spot.
So if there's an extra spot for Champions League, there's an extra one for Europa
League. I was going to say that, depending on who wins the FA Cup. Just someone outside of the top. Yeah,
it's
so it opens
still
up.
in the thingy.
City still in the FA Cup, yeah.
Still in the FA Cup.
There you go.
As our Liverpool, but obviously somebody, yes, if
you know what's even worse as well? This could make City like double fall off.
This could really. We've already pushed them off the cliff, but it's like, they fall in like.
You know what it could
falling.
You know, like the Mortal Kombat back in the day, where it's finish him.
Yeah.
And you just do the dead uppercut in it.
Yeah.
Remember the moment you do the mad uppercut and they fall off into the spikes? Now they might fall off into the. You know what I'm saying?
It is a
different.
I've never seen a fall from grace like it in football. Never. Considering, like I said just before, like how they were looked at, but at the start of the season, no one could have predicted this.
No.
And it's kind of like, it's not a chink in the armour, like the whole armour's fell off.
Yeah, it's done.
But sorry, I know we keep going back to it, but then that makes me question the fact that they didn't spend this summer when he needed to, whether the funds were there in the first place because of financial fair play, because they knew UEFA were on their arse about it.
Yeah, but I honestly, I think they did not think this was going to.
That opens up to me. It's like, well, wait a minute.
No, I hear what you're saying. So we're looking at it, and I was going to ask you lot because I really don't know. what? So I think we're saying Liverpool, City, Leicester. They're probably the top 3. Who do you lot think are going to get 4th and 5th?
You know, as much as I don't want to say it.
Yeah, go on.
Tottenham.
Yeah, he's going to get it.
I can see Tottenham and Arsenal. I'm not going to lie.
Nah,
can see
he's
Tottenham and
going to
Arsenal.
get it.
It's maybe a typical Mourinho-esque thing.
He's going to get it.
It's a Mourinho-esque thing to
And
do.
he's going to get it in unspectacular
Just
fashion.
imagine the
Probably
press
finish
conference.
5th. Yeah, probably finish 5th.
Imagine
He'll
the
probably
press
finish
conference.
5th on the last day in the last 5 minutes with a draw. With a draw.
That would be typical Mourinho to
He'll
do it.
do it, get it with a draw.
I don't know what their last game is,
With
but
a Dele
away
Alli
from
tap in.
yeah, away from home, somewhere like that.
Own goal. A scrap it on, boom, bounce off someone's thigh.
Yeah, I could imagine that like away from home or something like that.
It's one of them.
I don't know what Spurs' last game is, but yeah, I could imagine that definitely.
Trust me, I can just see it.
All right, but let's get into the few games from the weekend then. Since you spoke, do you want to start at? Where do you want to start? Arsenal, Newcastle.
Highest scoring, yeah.
All right, Arsenal, Newcastle. I ain't seen Arsenal fans this happy in a minute. Like, they were ecstatic about this result. And like I stated before, with them now having a backbone, it wasn't so much them beating Newcastle, it's the fashion in which they did it.
Yeah, not even that. It's the response after half time.
Yeah, and they've exactly that. Like I've said before, and I say it again, I want to be so wrong about it, but I think Arteta is going to get it right. I was talking to my Don Loza in work, and he's an Arsenal fan, and I was saying to him, I was like, I think you've got someone in Arteta. I was like, you lot have a backbone. Because I said to him, I was like, when you go down to 10 men, you lot normally capitulate. And he started laughing and he went 10 men. He was like, when we go down with 11 men, we normally capitulate.
Yeah, the heads.
Yeah, the heads drop. Like, that's the team you want to play. If there was a team you wanted to go down, who you were playing against, I've said this before, and you wanted a team to go down 10 men when they're coming to your ground, it was Arsenal. Because you know they will capitulate.
Yeah, but do you know the thing which struck me was, obviously, he started Nketiah up front. Young prospect, very, very good talent. I watched him a lot when he was at Leeds. Very, very good player. He brings Lacazette on. Game's practically done because Lacazette needs a confidence boost. He needs a goal. Perfect management bringing him on. He scores, and then look at him after that. He was everywhere. He was flying about. You seen how much it meant to him to score?
Yeah, 100%.
I guarantee you put him in the next game, I'm going to put a bet on him scoring, and he'll probably contribute a lot to that game.
Yeah, because he is a talented player, so it makes sense.
And it's like Pepe. That was the perfect game for Pepe yesterday. They made him like a world beater, and he's been non-existent since he got there.
That's a big part of that game for me, though.
What?
How bad Newcastle were.
And you wouldn't expect that from Newcastle.
Do you see even that goal, that Aubameyang's goal?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that
the
Pepe
defending
cross
was shocking.
That was like some. You know, it weren't even a whipped in cross. It weren't one of these like where we're saying with De Bruyne where it's whipped in, it's dangerous. A man just hung one in the air. He hung one in the air.
Yeah.
And then Aubameyang turned.
Yeah.
And he headed it in. It's like, where was the challenge? Where was the pressure? It was three Newcastle defenders on two.
Yeah, because he was with Fernandes at first.
Yeah.
And he peeled off Fernandes, and you can clearly see Fernandes is pointing, but what's good pointing, mate?
Yeah, you need someone.
You've
You
got
need
your
to
mouth for a reason.
Yeah.
Like say,
pointing.
pass him on. Just say, tuck in, do something.
But Newcastle are kind of in that space now where
They're safe.
they're safe. That's exactly what I was going to say. So they're not really fighting for Europe, even though with the way it's going, you never know with this season. And then they're probably not going to get relegated. So they're just in that safe space.
Yeah,
Would you say they're safe?
Yeah, I reckon they're safe.
That's 5 points, bro.
No, they're safe.
That's 5 points, but I reckon Newcastle will do what Burnley do. I seen a great tweet about it. Someone talking about Burnley, and he was like, every time I think Burnley are going to get relegated, the Ginger Mourinho does some scumbaggery and gets couple results. And Newcastle are like Burnley, and that's why I never fear for Burnley.
I fear for them, you know.
You fear for Newcastle?
Yeah, because
Really?
I think apart from that Sant Maximum, who I think is not going to be there next season, that Joe Linton is a fraud.
He is. I don't think they have good strikers, but the thing is, even though they got beat 4-0 here, they're defensively astute enough to get enough draws.
I know what you
to
mean.
keep them
They'll
out.
get enough draws.
They'll get enough draws.
They'll nick a win off a defender scoring a free kick.
There you go,
Like a throw-in or something.
Yeah, Lascelles scoring a header or something like that. Like the same way they got the result against Chelsea. That type of thing.
The way they got the result against you,
that type of
grinded
thing.
it out.
They'll do that. They have enough know-how in their squad and in their team for a relegation fight. There's enough similar to Burnley. There's enough tough ruggedness, scumbaggery. When I say scumbaggery, people, I'm talking in a complimentary fashion.
It's the toughness, innit? I know
it's
what
that
you're saying.
toughness.
It's not one of them where, you know, if it's a better team, you need the quality.
Yeah, it's not a flair thing.
Yeah.
It's just
Not
weren't
even
great.
flair, you know,
Yeah.
just like...
No, but they have got
not-
that one player, Shelby, who can hit a ball from a free kick. He can hit a shot
Yeah,
from
but
distance.
he's like, bro...
No, but
he's
what I'm saying is...
inconsistent
Yeah, he is,
to
but,
death.
he's
And you know
still,
what?
but he's still got that moment in him.
Yeah, he does have that moment in it. And you're saying he's inconsistent, you're 1,000% right. That's why he's at Newcastle. Because he doesn't do them special type of things consistently. That's why he didn't make it.
He's got the
shows right when he
ability.
says, I've seen Shelby and he's hit some great passes. And then I see him other games and I'm like, is this the same guy? But that's just the inconsistency. And that's why you're at Newcastle. That's exactly why you're at Newcastle. Let's talk about, since we mentioned them in it, let's talk about Burnley, Southampton. Hey, what a finish from, is it Vidra?
Vidra, bad boy.
That was
But
his
you know
first,
what?
wait, that was his first goal since like, I think he said 2018 or something like that.
Yeah,
What, that man chested it down,
Did you see
went
that
past the guy,
turn?
left foot. I was like,
Do you know what?
Who
It's
is
weird
this guy?
though. He's been there for time.
He's been-
Remember,
he was
he was
decent when he was
in
at
the
Derby.
Prem. Yeah, with Derby. He's been at Derby.
is he at Derby? I don't remember him being at Derby.
He's a bagsman,
Because
you
he
know.
said he hasn't scored in a long time, and I seen that. Because I was like, who is this for Burnley?
No, because to be fair, they got him. So when he left Derby, Leeds were after him because they were trying to place Kemar Roof, and then he ended up going to Burnley.
Yeah.
Because obviously the injuries and stuff like that, and he's just not really played because obviously Chris Wood's been playing phenomenal, Ashley Barnes has been playing phenomenal.
Scumbaggery,
Yeah, and them
You know what
two-
it is? And he doesn't fit that model, does he?
Yeah,
he doesn't. He's not. As you can see from that finish, that play, he's not gonna chest that down for someone to pass that out to the
He's not gonna
midfield.
flick
You know
it
what I mean?
on for someone to
Yeah,
run
yeah,
onto.
Or he's not going to get that to the winger and then get back and try and get ahead of.
don't.
He's got a bit more quality.
Yeah, he's a little bit more, well, I would say, no disrespect to it, a little bit more
Finesse.
cultured, a little bit more finesse.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a bit more of a razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
I mean, rather they're just
He's got a
brute
bit more
force.
sauce.
Bro, listen to his name, Vidra. When I got Barnes, Wood,
Barnes and Wood, you know.
Westwood, Cork, me. You know what I'm saying? Boom. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is.
Man, just one syllable names, you know,
One
just there.
syllable.
Boom.
Taylor.
Me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Me. Man called me. You get me? Me. You know what I'm
And his
saying?
first name's Ben.
You know what I'm saying? Ben me. You know what I'm saying?
And he's just a proper rough tugged number
Yeah.
6 centre
Do you
half.
get what I mean?
No nonsense.
That their whole team, you know what? They honestly,
Left midfielder called McNeil.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the left back, Charlie Taylor.
Charlie Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Everyone, Hendrick. You know what I'm saying? Look, Hendrick. You know what I'm saying?
He really is.
Bardsley. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's just Everybody's just You get me? They've not one Hernandez or a Silva or a. You know what I'm saying?
So you go for the goalkeepers. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What he said, you go for the goalkeepers. Nick Pope.
Nick Pope.
Nick Pope, and then you got Joe Hart.
Joe Hart.
What are we talking about?
Pope. Joe Hart. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, there is just no sauce at all.
No,
Yo, it's
even in
not-
the names, all of them as well, they're just like,
They just
the smallest man is like 5'11".
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everyone else is just like,
Lowen's the small one, right
Oh
back.
my God,
you
yo,
get
my
me?
stomach-
Every man's just, that's all it is, you know. The whole team's just.
It is.
They're not even whammy either. They're not hench.
They're not hench.
They're just big.
Yeah, they're just like proper tough, rugged Sunday League ex-players.
Yeah, that's what they remind me of. You know what they're like?
Bro, they are. That is exactly what
Some
they are.
type of Sunday League team,
Proper,
innit?
they are an
Yeah.
experienced, dirty, rough
Yeah.
Sunday League team.
Innit?
They're one of them teams.
And he is that kind of manager, though.
Sean Dyche looks like that. He looks
Yeah.
like all the other
100%.
managers like that. He's got no sauce in it.
Yeah. Bro, he made his voice. Bro, I remember watching Match of the Day, yo. Bro, I was watching Match of the Day one time, and my missus, she said, "What's wrong with the telly?" I said, "That's his voice."
He's got a proper tough, rugged voice in it. Yeah.
Today, you know.
Yeah, that's
He's
it.
like, "Rah." He's like, "Rah."
Shout out to Burnley though, because we do rate you, but that is just a funny.
He sounds like someone. He sounds like my man out of Harry Potter. You know what I'm saying? That big brother.
you Hagrid.
Yeah, man. That's who he sounds like, brother.
Yo, my
You get
stomach
me?
can't stop, man.
But this is not taking nothing away from Burnley either.
Because it's very effective. And I actually like you lot.
Yeah.
You're a proper throwback.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
throwback
it's
team,
like
innit?
Stoke.
Yeah,
like,
it
yeah,
is
a
like
proper
Stoke.
throwback.
No, they're like a bad
You know what
version
it's
of
like?
Stoke. Yeah.
You know when like they're an early 90s Premier League team.
They proper
yeah,
are
100%.
Like a
really
time
nice.
machine, innit?
Yeah.
Of like Wimbledon-esque.
Yeah, time machine. They're
Coventry
proper
and all them
Yeah,
teams.
throwback.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
what
know
I'm
what I
saying,
mean?
like the old
You know what I
Leicester.
mean? Them
You could
old school
imagine
man.
them.
Yeah,
They're-
old Leicester.
they're
The
prop-
Steve Guppies and them man there.
Like
Knows it
John
isn't.
Fashanu and all them, man.
Yeah, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We need to get some of that back, actually.
They've got it in abundance. They really do
Yeah.
have it in
Oh,
abundance.
100%.
But yeah, this Vidra, like I say, back onto the game. Great goal. Great goal. You know what I mean?
Yo.
That concludes the Burnley segment of the show.
No, but
yeah,
one sec,
go on.
before we conclude it. I've been saying this. Danny Ings has to have a shot at potentially going to the Euros.
Yeah, if you keep scoring goals the way he does.
He just looks very sharp. You know, like, it's like he doesn't seem to have many shots.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and if he does it, the keeper's saving it, or it's in.
And when you look at him, it's like he's one of them guys. He'll fool you type of thing. Like, because you look at him, you're like, you're not really that quick. You're not like that strong. There's nothing. Your touch ain't exceptional, but my man just keeps on managing to score goals.
I love him.
You know what? He's not quick.
Yeah,
he's sharp. So he's that old school striker instinct type of
anticipation.
Anticipation, movement,
there's
positioning.
A reason why Klopp loved him when he first came in, and he started every game when Klopp came in until he did his double ACL injury.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he's not at Liverpool. I love that kid. Because he had something, literally, you could see it every time he stepped on the pitch. He just had that something where he could he's not the Mo Salah type, he's not the Cristiano Ronaldo type where he'll just turn a player, or do you know what I mean? But what he's got is his timing of his run is exceptional, and
it's all of that type of stuff.
So it's like, for example, if he sees who is on Redmond and Redmond picks up the ball, his movement off the ball is unbelievable, and he works his arse off on the front.
Yeah.
And that's why he's getting his goals. A lot of him is harrying the defenders. James Ward-Prowse is picking up. It's going wide to Redmond, and then he's firing in. And
he's one of them old school ones, you know, like where
old school number 9.
Old school number 9. So he's doing that. He runs this way, he runs back, he's got his space back. Yeah. You know, all of that.
Yeah,
he'll make a far post run and a near post run.
His movement is unbelievable.
A lot of players nowadays just go like that.
And
just stand still.
Just stand still.
Or if they're not, they're still running in that same way, like, and then they don't get it and they go, But that's what it is though. That's called a footballing brain. So he knows I've not got that pace. I've probably not got a step over in my locker.
Yeah, that's
true. You know what I mean? So I've got to do these other things.
Touch and bang.
Yeah,
He seems to always get. I've noticed he always seems to get in the right areas.
Yeah, but if you look at his goal against Tottenham, he was perfect. He was telling whoever who was in midfield, Prowse, Romeu, knock it in behind because I'll beat them for pace, and then he's not sitting behind, flicks it over his head, Gazaresca, and buries it. He's a good player, man.
He's not one of them he knows he's not got full burner pace, but I can use it to get my yard and get my shot off.
He's got enough of 5 yards. That type of thing. But shout out to Burnley, because that's a great result for them, because Southampton been on a run. Burnley been doing and they don't even travel well. On to let's talk about it, unfortunately. Norwich 0, Liverpool 1.
Well, they give us a good game, you know.
See, that was the thing that was crazy, because I'm looking at it like this is a certified 4-5-0 for you lot.
And I'll tell you why it's not.
Go on, why is it not?
We are notoriously terrible after breaks. So you know, last season when everyone said that the title went and stuff like that. Yeah. So for example, Liverpool, this was last year. Yeah. From the 19th of January to the 30th of January, I've done my homework.
Yeah, serious. As always, shows the homework guy.
So we had a gap, right? Yeah. And then we came back, drew 1-1 against Leicester, drew against Hughes. Drew against Everton and won against Crystal Palace.
Right.
3 draws out of the last or the next 4 games after the 30th of January when the break was. So whenever we have a break for whatever reason, we are terrible. So I knew, and this is what Liverpool fans are saying, is like, listen, Klopp, I know you're saying that players need a break. As fans, we know, don't do that break because we're not great after it. We proved that last year. Realistically, those 3 draws, turn one of them into win. We're league champions. We're defending our title this year.
True. That's a fair point.
So it's like, when I seen it, I was just like...
But even after the break, I'm looking at it, Norwich bottom in the league, low on confidence, and they're a team...
But you could see it in how slow we were on the ball, the lack of creativity at times on the ball, and you've got Henderson who normally looks at the ball and Trent's going, Robertson's going, and he's looking and he's having to go back to Van Dijk because there's no movement in front of him.
Even with that, even you lot at 50-60%, obviously you've got the win. I would expect you to beat Norwich comfortably, because Norwich, like I said, bottom of the league, low on confidence, and they're not a Burnley-esque side. They like to play football, which I thought, obviously wrongly now, plays right into Liverpool's hands, because teams who play football, as you've seen, Liverpool, as we've seen before in the past, teams that have done well against them, as we spoke with the back threes, are teams that have not tried to out-football them. Like, Norwich will try and play football.
Not true.
Like, I noticed that when United went there, I'm like, you lot try and play football.
But if that's us in the middle of January, that's a 4-5-0. Because we're in our move, we're in our system, we're in our groove, we're in the momentum.
So you reckon it's proper stopped your, what's the word I'm looking for? Your flow?
It's just, slightly. You could tell it by the fluidity of it. Like, there was just no real...
rhythm.
And to be honest, before Mane came on, I didn't think we were going to score.
Okay.
I couldn't see it because...
I'm surprised to hear you say that as a Liverpool fan, actually, because the amount of late goals you lot have scored?
Nah, but it was because I was watching the game progress and I was just like, I could see Kaya constantly making these runs, but it was just hitting a brick wall and going nowhere. And Oxlade-Chamberlain, good player, but he wasn't really doing anything on the left. And Salah was taking too many touches and constantly going into trouble. And Trent wasn't whipping the balls in like he normally does. It was just like we just lacked the fluidity like we normally have, and it was frustrating to watch. That was the most frustrating. I know the Premier League title's done. That was the most frustrating I've ever been watching a game this season.
Okay,
but that's why I think if it's not been said before, because I know it went no phenomenal thing, but that's why Mane is now the go-to guy for Liverpool. Salah, all right then, you're telling me
I put him as the go-to
Bro,
guy.
did you see his touch?
You're telling me as Salah, yeah, is supposed to be the
He's supposed to be their main man.
yeah against the bottom of the table team away from home. You're not. You know what I'm saying?
You're not the guy who's standing up and being counted.
You know what? But I've said this. This ain't been his best season.
No.
I think Salah 2 or whatever that season was when he had that mad season. I think the first one, I credit the first one better when he had that crazy season.
Yeah.
He scores 2 goals there, maybe even 3.
True.
And he stands out. You know what I mean? He goes on an amazing run. He bangs one in the top corner and then he does another one and he takes it around the keeper. You know what I mean?
I hear that.
He's not. I don't know what it is that this season he's not had that. You know what I mean? He's not had that extra spark. But at the same time, Norwich can kind of hold their head high. Even if they do get relegated, they can say, you know what, we've played Liverpool twice and we've given them a game.
Yeah, serious.
Well, it looks like we're going for Cantwell to replace Lallana as well.
They look, you know what, very similar players, you know.
That's why as soon as I seen it, I was like, that is an unbelievable deal if we get that done.
Yeah, because Cantwell is kind of like Lallana, because I think technically, I think Lallana is very underrated technically.
I think
and I look at Cantwell, technically Cantwell's good, and he's got a little bit more.
And he's young.
Yeah, he's young, and he's got a little more pace.
Bro.
If he was Spanish.
Lallana was Spanish, he'd be talked of in a different light.
That's true. I look at him like that, he's in that ilk. He kind of breaks the mold from your old English brute.
He's when I first seen him come through, he reminds me exactly of Cazorla. That way you don't know what footed they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A man might dribble with his left foot and you're like, oh, right, you're left footed. Man, then he'll dribble with his right foot. You're like, yo, what footed are you, bro? He'll smack a pass with his left. He'll do it with his right.
Yeah.
They're that same type of, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, silky. That's what it is.
Yeah, very silky.
Look like they don't run, like they glide across the pitch.
They've got time in it.
Cultured.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. Nah, cultured. Nah, I hear what you're saying.
He's a similar player. But I said that Cantwell's a good player. He probably is, apart from Pookie, because Pookie's, you know.
I can see them two getting picked up if Norwich do get relegated.
I don't. Pookie's a bit old.
But I mean,
how old's Pookie?
He's like 31, you know.
I could see someone trying to.
He's been at Celtic. He'd be perfect for Everton. He'd score goals at Everton.
Sheffield United.
Leeds if they come up.
Knows where the goal is.
Leeds
and a great chance. Leeds if they come up. Because we spoke about Sheffield United.
Sheffield United one makes sense.
That makes perfect sense because he wouldn't cost them going down to the Championship. He wouldn't cost the bomb.
I don't think he'd cost the bomb anyway. You know, age and all that.
He's kind of that ilk of terms of hard working, and they do create a lot of chances. And one thing about Pookie is he can score.
Oh yeah, he knows where the goal is.
Yeah, he can score. Interesting. Obviously tonight as well, before we wrap up the show and everything, it is Chelsea United at the Bridge.
Have you seen your team?
Have you seen that lineup?
No, I've not seen the lineup. Ironically, shout out my sister because my sister messaged me and she just said, have you seen our lineup?
I'll do Chelsea's, you do yours.
Okay.
Right, so Chelsea's Caballero.
Yeah.
Reece James. Christensen. Rudiger. Azpilicueta.
I like that. Azpilicueta.
Kante.
Yeah.
Jorginho. Kovacic. Willian, Pedro and Batshuayi. So there's no Abraham. There's no Mount.
Nah. Alright, go say a United team. Go on.
Move on to your team.
Alright, go on. Come on, Vils.
In goal, De Gea. Yeah. Back three. Bailly on the right. He's not Bailey, by the way. I can't stand when people say that.
Is it Bailly?
He's Bailly.
I don't know. Is it Bailly?
Bailly.
I'm run with Bailly. Yeah.
Maguire.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw, left centre back.
Okay.
Wing backs. Good old Brandon Williams. Wan-Bissaka. 2 holding midfielders, Fred and Matic. Number 10, Bruno.
Yeah.
Up front, Martial and James. Take from that what you will.
Alright.
He's going to counter-attack.
He's going to counter-attack. -2. Yeah, blessfully. -2. There's only 2 players that I would change in that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have...
Matic.
I'm not having... I'd play Matic. You have to. Because we have no other centre mids. So Matic is solid. I wouldn't have Wan-Bissaka playing wing back because he's not a wing back. I'm playing Wan-Bissaka, even though I like Luke Shaw at left wing back, I'm playing Wan-Bissaka as a right-sided centre back.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
And then and then I play Eric Bailly over the side where Shaw is.
But do you know
that's
what
I do?
Do you know what I think that is?
Go on.
Who would you play right wing back? Dalot?
I think that's a lie that thingy.
Go on.
I think that's Brandon Williams playing on the left of a 4-2-3-1.
So you reckon he's playing...
Or it's
So you reckon he's playing Wan-Bissaka right? So Bissaka and Shaw as fullbacks.
Yeah.
Maguire, Bailly, Matic and Fred sitting, Fernandes.
Yeah.
He's playing James
on
one
the
side,
right,
Williams on the left, and Martial as a top on his own.
Yeah,
It could
because I'm
figure
thinking
into
about
that.
edgy defending. You could go into a back five.
Yeah, that's true. I don't mind it. Like I said, I just don't want to. If we're playing wing backs, I do not want to see Wan-Bissaka as a wing back. Play Dalot there and play Wan-Bissaka as a right-sided centre back,
yeah,
and then play Bailly as the left-sided centre back.
Because think about
that's
it.
cool. I don't know, and how Greenwood's not getting, how he's not playing Greenwood with Martial up top, I do not know. And then bring James on later on. Well,
One
minus
second,
two,
let
I'm
me
not
just
really
check
fussed.
one thing actually. Is this
this
brother on the bench?
So take it from what you will.
Igalo and Greenwood on the bench.
So if this is
Play Igalo.
Nah, you know what he should have done then?
Play
I don't
Gallo.
want to cut you off there,
Yeah.
Strizo. But then, like you said, your point of playing Wan-Bissaka,
Yeah.
third centre back.
Yeah.
He's got Dalot on the bench, perfect wing
Yeah,
back.
that's what Stroll said.
Perfect
Perfect wing
wing
back.
back.
That's a great balance.
So then this is the point. If this is Mourinho in charge of this team,
Yeah.
he does that because he brings James on off the bench 70 minutes and he will nick you a goal or he'll make something happen. That just shows the experience between top class managers or managers of experience and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which brings me on to my next point, by the way.
Yeah, go on.
Is since January,
Yeah.
only Crystal Palace have took less points than you. They took 34, you took 41. Genuinely, that's not even a joke. That is, honest to God's the truth. Since January, if it is, Premier League points since January 1st. Crystal Palace 36, Manchester United 45, Brighton 46, Norwich 56, West Ham 56. And that man's still in the job.
Yeah, stress. Pure
What do you mean?
stress.
I don't get that. We've got since January what this year?
Since January 1st.
That must be last year, bro.
1 minute.
Can't have had 56 points. We're on 35 now. That's from January 2019.
Is it January 10th? Yeah, probably is January.
It must be.
Yeah, January 10th. Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. But I was just stressed, like, they just got me so stressed. Absolutely stressed. But let's touch on this, because I almost forgot about this game. Because talking about United really does depress me and all them things there. Shout out Big S in the building and
Big
that.
S.
You get me? Aston Villa 2. You get me? Tottenham 3. Hello, what's going on, people? Yeah, it is what it is. Thought he was opening the door. Shout out the Microwave Podcast and that.
Always.
Where was we at? Yes, Aston Villa 2.
Pepe Reina.
Spurs 3.
Come back to Liverpool. Be our number 2. I love you.
I want to talk about the Alderweireld finish. What a strike.
Wow.
What a finish.
What a strike.
What a finish.
Man swiveled on the ball and that, like, you know what I mean? Swiveled
You know what it
and
was? It was
smashed
the
it.
Taylor 2 centre backs that match. He
Yeah,
had
go
a
on.
shocker
Yeah.
first and then he got
Engels
it
had
back.
a
But that
shocker.
Angles, he gave away the... What was it? Did he give away the first one?
Nah, so we give away the... So this is what I mean. So Alderweireld scored the own goal, made up for it and scored. Engels give away the penalty, then scored. Then, when you think it's thingy, he then absolutely ruins himself with a terrible touch and then he end up losing as a result.
Yeah, it's calm. Yo, shout out Solomon again. You
Big
get me?
S.
Girl, Mr. Pie Radio and that. The guy who makes it all happen and that.
Yeah,
You
man.
get me?
Soul night.
That's what it is.
Shout
Soul
out.
night all day.
Night. But yeah, another victory for Spurs. Like,
They'll get top 4.
This Mourinho is now. There's a potential that the 5th place is now a Champions League spot. That's what it is. Yeah, you said Mourinho gonna do it, and they'll probably finish 5th.
He's
They'll
going
probably
to,
finish
man.
5th. That is a
You know
typical
what's sick?
Mourinho.
And I know what he's going to say.
Yeah.
I do this without the best striker in the world. Get me, bro. That's how my man's going to run it, you know.
That's what
I do this playing right winger up front.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna say. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
And start doing all of this.
That is typical him. That's exactly.
No,
what he'll do.
you know how he goes on.
Yeah.
I do this. You
That's
know?
exactly what he does.
Get me.
Do you want to do a quick rundown of the results? What's up, Stroll? Stroll pulling faces, people. What's going on?
Mino Raiola's just come out with a statement about Pogba.
Go on, quick
And
then.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
end
I
on
want
this.
to hear this.
Let's end on this.
So I
let's
want
end
him
on
gone
this.
anyway.
We've got like a couple minutes left. Go on.
So, Paul is not mine, and for sure Solskjaer's property. Paul is Paul Pogba's. You cannot own a human being already for a long time in the UK or anywhere else. I hope Solskjaer, and bearing in mind this is in capitals, does not want to suggest that Paul is his prisoner. But before Solskjaer makes comments about the things I say, he should inform himself better about the content of what has been said. I am a free citizen who can think and express my thoughts. Until now, I was maybe too nice to him. Solskjaer should just remember that he sold... What? Just remember things that he said that he said in the summer to Paul. I think Solskjaer may be frustrated for different reasons and is now mixing up some issues, and I hope Solskjaer, at least if I was him, would keep quiet, because everything can come out.
Yeah, just shut up. That's what Solskjaer needs to do. Someone needs to be in there and just tell him to shut up.
He needs to start the truth.
Not with the Pogba thing. I'm saying with everything. When you're doing a bad job, you can't be talking about this, there, and everything.
He's got to take the thingy off him. That's what it is.
But he's pouring it on himself.
Yeah, but he can't do it properly.
This guy, he can't do it properly. But anyways, thank you for everybody tuning in. Make sure you watch back on YouTube, listen on the Pi Radio, Spotify or iTunes, and follow Pi Radio and us across all platforms.
We out.